Hello everyone, this is Peter Towers, the Managing Director of ESS Biztools. Welcome to this special webinar today with our guest presenter, Lorraine Pirihi from Relaunch Your Life. Lorraine's going to talk to you today about the 6 steps to boost your productivity and profits. Lorraine Pirihi is a productivity specialist, a business mentor, a life coach, a speaker, and an author. And she's going to bring an interesting point of view to the subject she's going to talk to us today about. This will be a pleasant change for the accountants in the audience because of recent weeks we've been talking about the early stage innovation company legislation and the challenges facing accountants relative to what is going to happen in the future with income tax returns, etc. So I have much pleasure in welcoming Lorraine to us to share with us her thoughts today. I'm just going to switch the presenter to Lorraine Pirihi, and Lorraine will take you through. Now, if you have any questions, can you please type them in, and I will give the questions to Lorraine during the presentation. Thanks, Lorraine.
Hi everyone, and welcome to today's presentation. Really looking forward to speaking to you all today. Hope you can see my screen sharing. Can you see it from your end, Peter?
No, not yet, no.
Okay, we have a few techie little glitches, as is the normal thing, isn't it, just when you're going off into a presentation. So let me just see. Can you see my screen at all?
Yes,
it's there, Peter?
It's there now, Lorraine. You're away. Yeah, it's up there. Okay.
Okay. Let me just back it up a bit. Great. Can I just have a show of hands? Who's on the call today? Can we just see where you're all from? Can you just type in the box so we can see we're not talking to ourselves today? That would be great. Excellent. All right. I know accountants love communication, and and therein lies the problem. But never mind that. Today I'm going to share with you the 6 steps to boost your productivity and profits. I've been in business now for a total of 15 years, and I've worked a lot with accountants, and I find there's often obviously many challenges with the changing of the landscape and what have you, but one of the key challenges I find is actually yourself, you as the owner of the business, which actually you know, makes or breaks the way that business is run. And there's often a hidden goal sitting in your business that you don't even know about, and you can actually mine it more and also work less at the same time. So today I'll share with you some of these tips, tools and strategies. And just before I do that, I just want to double check with you, Peter, are we recording this?
Yes, we're recording this, yeah.
Yeah, just double checking. Awesome. Okay, so I'm going to tell you a little bit about my background and where I've come from, and I'm sure some of you can relate to this. I was in business for 13 years prior to Relaunch Your Life, and I was known as a productivity queen, and I used to help small business owners get organised, and that was a range of things from productivity, time management, life and business coaching, and then I got to a point where I got tired, worn out, and over it at the age of 53. So I, had a business for 13 years, and then a whole range of things. And those of you who are on the call who are, over 50, I'm sure you can understand what that can feel like. And I was at a point I just wanted to walk away from business, just sick of business and life in general. And I had gone off to get some help, but I got help in not so much the right directions. I wanted to extricate myself from the business. I spoke to the accountant, I looked at a business broker and a range of things, but I really needed someone who understood not just business but life itself, that could help me navigate my way out of what I was going through, and basically help me reinvent myself and reignite my life again. But anyway, cutting a long story short, 2 years later, I resurfaced again in business and created Relaunch Your Life, specialising in transforming the lives of baby boomer business owners so that they can reignite their mojo again. So there's many reasons why the flame is extinguished, and we'll cover a little bit of that too today. But let's get a real grip about you and your practice and your life in general. And what I've got here, I want you to have a look at the next slide. Just bear with me. The next slide, just moving right along. There we go. So these are the wheels of life, and I want you to have a look at, first of all, the left-hand side, which is more about life overall. And I want you to rate yourself. So out of 10, where would you rate yourself as far as your health and fitness is concerned? Because when it comes to running a business, any business, you need to be fit and healthy. And the older you are, the more you need it, because health is such an important thing. If your health goes down, so does everything else in your life as well. So where would you rate yourself? Are you proactive in that area, or do you tend to react, meaning you don't do much at all unless you actually fall sick and something happens to you? So what would be great, I know I'm moving quite quickly now, if anyone wants this wheel of life, I can send it to you so you can fill it out for yourself. But what would be great is rate yourself where you would be out of 10 and be real with yourself. Where are you as far as your wealth is concerned? Out of 10, are you all set up ready for retirement? Could you walk away from the business, or, sell the practice and be fairly, have the wealth in place for the future? Or do you feel like you're struggling in that area? So where would you rate yourself? What about your personal relationships? And I know accountants, they're not necessarily the best people to communicate with, and particularly guys. I'm sure there's a lot of guys on the call today. Where would you relate your relationships? Did I say relate your relationships? Rate your relationships out of 10. Because chances are, for many people, you've spent your life there working away in your practice, and you've probably not taken the time to actually spend that time, energy and effort into investing in those. And I find a lot of challenges with my clients is the relationships they have with their staff and people around them, because they're not very poor at communicating. Business, how is your business in general? Is it running well? Is it running effectively? Is it giving you the results you want? So let's just do a quick stock take there and be honest with yourself. And personal development, what do you do to develop yourself personally? I know you guys go along to get your CPD points and all that. You learn about your tax and your superannuation, all that sort of stuff. But what do you do to learn and grow you as a person? Because many of the challenges you are facing is because of not having enough time, energy and effort put into your own development, understanding yourself, understanding how you tick, and also being able to understand how others tick as well. So life doesn't become such a roller coaster, and you go through all these emotions up and down all the time and find it really challenging to navigate life in general. So once you've done that, and you'd actually put a cross in the circle on the line there, and then you'll find when you join it all up, it could well be quite a disjointed type of circle. I'm just giving you an example here. Very hard to navigate life when your circle's looking like that. Moving right along, if we look to the other side, this is a safer side, a safe place to look, isn't it? Looking at your business. Where would you rate your business right now? So we've got the area of strategic planning. Do you proactively plan? I mean, you might be helping your clients plan their businesses, but what are you doing to plan yours? I find most people don't do anything there. I know I work with my clients, and I have a lot that are accountants. We work with them every 30 to 60, not 30 days, that's a bit too short, but every 90 days at least, or 90 or to even 180 days, mapping out where they are going and what they're trying to achieve. Sometimes if you go too far in the distant future, it's just too far away for people to even get started. So are you proactive with your planning? What about your marketing? What do you do to market your business? You can't just sit there on your bum and hope business will come in the door. You've got to be proactive. And I think this is the real downfall of most accountants. They don't service properly. Every account I've unfortunately had for myself personally, they are just reactive and they're not proactive. So I think there's a lot of hidden gold in your business that you can mine when you become more proactive in your business. So we've got the marketing section of it. Now, what about your team, your staff? Do you have a solid team? For many accountants, half the time their team tends to be there for a long period of time. But are they a good team? You know, are they proactive? Because your team is a good reflection of you. Whatever that leadership's like, that's a good reflection of the team that you've got. So usually you've got the team that you deserve. That might sound a bit harsh, but it's often the case. And then we have a look at the operating of your business. Are you able to get the work through, or are you the bottleneck? You know, are you able to, you and your team are able to, you know, keep up with the clients, what their needs are, and be proactive? So are you operating effectively? And financially, are you actually making enough money from your practice? When you look at all your overheads and the time, energy, and effort you're there for, are you getting the results that you're looking for? So it's good to do a really good stock take of this. And then if you can see on this wheel, you would actually put a cross on the line to see where you would rate, and then you may find that your wheel looks a bit like this, again disjointed. And if you're in a, you know, riding a bike down the road, I mean, you wouldn't go far when you're so far out of whack like that. But, you know, hopefully you're not like that, but chances are for most people they are. And the common denominator between both sides is you, number one. You are the problem, but you're also the solution, which is great news. So everything is, in general, under your control. And often people have a lack of time, so they're not investing the time, energy, and effort into the areas that need addressing. And we don't all have the answers. No one person has all the answers. You do need to get the help and assistance that you require. Just like your clients may come to you for some financial matters, you can't do it all, and the same for the rest of your business and your life. You aren't the expert in those areas, because if you were, you wouldn't be in the situation you're in now. Do we have any questions as we're going along? If you have a question, please type it in the box so that we can address things as we go along. So if you're out there now, would you like to type a question in?
Yeah, we haven't got any questions yet, Lorraine. A couple of people want the charts. I think what we might do is send them round to everyone that's registered today. So
yeah, absolutely.
Please type your questions in and I'll relay them to Lorraine. Thank you.
Okay, fantastic. Thanks, guys. Guys and gals, maybe. Not
there's
sure.
Guys and gals, yeah.
Guys and gals, fantastic. All right. So 6 steps to boost your productivity and profits. So this is what I've discovered over the years are the key areas that most people need to address in business, and I've written a manual around this and also a book. So and it's common with all businesses, not just accountants, but they're just common, basic, what I call garden variety stuff that most people don't do. People get so much knowledge, but they don't do anything with it. They don't implement, and I'm all about implementing. And that's the reason why many of the baby boomers, business owners that I work with, they're just overwhelmed. They've got too many things going on in their life, and they don't know what to do and what are the next steps to take. So, this is where you've got to get help. So here we go. Key areas: free up your time for what matters most, getting the right team in place, master the skill of productive marketing, stay on track with efficient systems, focus on creating wealth. That's a good one, isn't it? And make yourself and time with your family a priority. So this is covering business, but it's also covering life. My background is I'm a productivity specialist as well as a business coach as well as a life coach. So I'm bringing all those skills together in this presentation because it's never just business and it's not just the personal stuff either. You need to look at both things together so that you get the results that you're really looking for. All right, so moving right along, first thing is time management. You've got to free up your time for what matters most. Most people talk about this and tell you how busy, busy, busy they are, but they don't actually plan their time. In fact, they do nothing. They often, what they do is react. So turn up at work, an accountant will turn up at work, and then whatever happens, happens. The phone might ring, there is, it's a client, and then they'll do something. A team member may come in the door, and boom, they do something. But they don't have any plan for the day. Now, I know working with my own clients, one of the key things I do, I get them to fill out a timesheet, not the 6-minute timesheet. It's my own special magical mystery timesheet. Again, you're quite welcome to have this one, and I'm happy to pass that out, Peter. But what you've got to do with the timesheet, you've got to record what you're doing roughly every hour on the hour. You've got to print the thing out every hour on the hour, write down what you are doing, because what you say you're doing and what you are doing are totally two different things. I will guarantee that you are probably wasting about 80% of your week doing things you don't need to be doing. In fact, with one of my clients, what we found was an accountant had practice of about 4 staff. Again, he's a typical, what I call my own target market, over 50, bit tired, worn out and over it and ready to retire. Probably not in the next couple of years, but probably in the next 4 years or so. And he just wants to get his act together and feel good about himself and make the most of his business while he still can. So one of the things we got him to do was this timesheet, and we discovered that it was such a simple, tiny little thing that he was just wasting at least a day a week on inconsequential things that didn't really matter. I mean, that's a day a week. So you think as an accountant what your charge out rate is, you're wasting a day a week. A day a week, it could well be worth $2,500, and that is just you. So while you're busy wasting time being busy, 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 saying yes to everyone instead of saying no and not planning your day, money is pouring out of your practice, and that is just you. So just imagine you've got staff as well, and they're just doing their own thing because you're busy running around with your head, with your head cut off, and they're doing their own thing. They've never been taught time management skills either. So chances are there's heaps of money pouring out of your business right now. So time management is very, very important, and it's a skill you can learn. You need to schedule time for activities. You've got to schedule your day. You need a to-do list. I mean, you may have heard this all before, but if you don't do these things, you are going to waste at least, like the 80-20 rule, chances are you're going to waste at least 80% of your day because you are not focused and you're going to get distracted. I found one of the accountants that I was working with, he kept himself busy all day. You know why he kept himself busy? Because he did not want to do what he needed to do. He needed to do more marketing, like ringing up the clients, the top clients, and staying in touch and having a relationship with them, and he would have easily got more work in his practice, but he was avoiding doing that, so he kept himself busy, and he had staff who could do some of the work that he was doing, but again, he immersed himself, kept busy, kept avoiding what he needed to do, just because he was fearful of making phone calls. But we got him over that, and we got him off his butt and doing stuff. So, you got to have a look at why you're so busy. So timesheet, the diary and the planning, and also another key thing is clean out the clutter. I know so many people in your profession, they hoard. You've got to clean up and keep it clean because you can't find anything. You lose time, you lose money. It sucks your energy, and you're just wasting time, energy, and money. And it takes up valuable space, and it's not a good look. Clients walk in, and your place looks like a pigsty. Not good. So clean it up. Again, you schedule time to do these things, and you do have the time. It's just how you allocate that time. Alrighty, so that's a little bit about time management. Do we have any questions? Am I making sense? Can we have someone type in whether I'm making sense or not?
No, we've got no questions yet, Lorraine. But
no, okay, all right. So as I said, guys, you've got to communicate. Communicating is really important. Here we go. getting the right team in place. You can't do it all on your own, and you may have, even if you're a home-based accountant, and again, we don't know who all the people are on the line here.
Oh, we've got people from all around Australia today, Lorraine. We've got Tasmania, we've got Western Australia, we've got South Australia, New South Wales and Queensland. Oh, and some Victorians. So,
oh, you got some Victorians.
I think
The
so.
Victorians wearing their ski jackets. Wearing their ski jackets. It's so cold here.
We have a question here from Joanne. Yep. I understand allocating time, but I don't seem to be able to stick to the allocation. Do you want to comment on that, please, Lorraine?
Well, why is that, Joanne? Have a look at why you can't stick to it. Why are you getting... Oh, there goes the dogs in the background. Why are you getting distracted? Is it because the work is boring? Is it because you can't say no? Do you put boundaries around yourself? So there's a range of reasons why that may be. So you need to start looking at that. So it's about you and your own self-discipline. Quite often there are people that don't want to say no. They think they're letting people down. Well, you've got to have boundaries around what you're prepared to do and what you're not prepared to do. So that's quite a big question, but you've got to have a look at your own self-discipline and why is it that you're getting distracted? Are you in the environment where you get distracted? Do you have a team that distracts you? If that's the case, are your team trained properly? Why are they coming to you every 5 minutes asking questions? Again, you need to look at what you're doing or not doing. So it's not a short, sharp answer. There's quite a lot to it, but that will be that'll help you in some way to ask yourself a few questions around that. Is that making sense, Joanne?
Well, Joanne says thanks, and just before that, Rod had said you were making sense, so that's good.
Oh, good. All right, when I'm not making sense, let me know. Okay. And by the way, I could make sense, but the bottom line, guys, is you might have heard stuff like this before, but you've got to take action. You've got to stop procrastinating. And I'm going to say this because this is how I speak. So you've got to make shit happen. You just got to make it happen, because if you don't make changes to the way that you're working, nothing's going to change. So it's really important to take action, and ask yourself this question: what's the worst thing that could possibly happen if I, whatever that is? And then the next question to ask yourself is, can I live with that? And if you can, go ahead and take action. And if you can't, well, look at another solution. There's always a solution. So getting back to getting the right team in place, you can't do it all on your own. I mean, even me, I'm a home-based business owner. I outsource. You know, I'll get a virtual assistant to do work for me. You know, I don't do the slides. I don't even know how to do this stuff, and I don't want to know, because that's not where I best, shine. You guys, as an example, you might be putting on a seminar or something like that. Well, chances are, people don't know how to do good invites and make things sexy and jazz it up. Well, you can outsource that to someone else to do it. In fact, a financial planner I was working with, we had a special seminar for his clients, and he's based in South Australia, and he wanted to have this event to thank his clients, which it was something different, and I was talking on this stuff, and to make it really appealing to get people along there, he outsourced to someone that I knew who could send out some exciting copy to clients to get them along to come to the event, because he didn't have the expertise inside the business. He had accountants in the business. Now, accountants aren't good marketers. They're good at their stuff, but they're not good at that. So you don't have to work out on trying to do everything yourself, because you can't. So get the help you need, otherwise it'll drag you down, and make life miserable for you if you're not doing the things that you enjoy in your business. Now, just talking about the team, this is a huge issue with every client I work with. As I say, a lot of them are tired, worn out, and a bit over it. And there's always, with every single client, it doesn't matter who they are, what profession they're in, and if they've got a team, there's always that one person in the team that's a problem. Every coaching call you're on, they're always bringing up this one person. Well, you need to really look at that. If your team aren't performing, chances are it's about you. Leadership skills are not gotten by osmosis. You need to learn how to be a good leader and how to be effective and how to run the team. Often it's I'm finding, the accountants, because they're not good communicators, they have so many issues within their own practice. And it's not the staff's fault. You've always got to look in the mirror. It's you. And again, as I mentioned earlier, the good thing is you've created the situation you're in, own it, but you can also change it as well. You're responsible for your practice, you're responsible for your life, and the minute you start blaming others, you need to look in the mirror, because it's what you're doing yourself that's causing generally what's happening around you. So it's really important. If you've got a bit of a cancer within your business, something that needs to be addressed, if someone's not performing well, have a look at why. And in fact, I've got a client at the moment, he's got someone there, he's been whinging and moaning about this particular person, and I got him to do a list of positives and a list of negatives, because I'm not going to tell him get rid of them, because I don't know anything about the person, and that's a real hard call. And it turned out he made the decision, after doing the positives and the negatives, with a little bit of extra work and a better communication, it was worthwhile keeping that person on board. What I will say this about leadership and communicating and having the right team, you need to have regular team meetings, get input from your staff. It's not all about the work. You need to get to know them a bit more personally as well. And if there's a problem, address it. Don't ignore it. Don't beat around the bush. Go and sort it out. Even if you're scared to, you need to sort it out, because it'll come back to bite you. If you don't, it'll get worse and worse and worse, and then something will blow up, and you'll have no control over the situation. Any questions about the team? If there is, Peter, let me know.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
I'll let you know. On. There's no questions in here yet. But obviously teams are very important, aren't they, for people, especially with all the challenges that are there for accountants at present?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of challenges for accountants, but you can change that. You've got to get with the times. There's a saying, if you're green, you're growing, you're right, you're rotten. Life is changing. We all have to change. Look, I got tired, worn out and over it at 53, and I moved out of business. I had to change. I went into employment. It was horrible, horrible. I got sacked 3 times. It was just awful. So trying to get a job because I wanted purpose and mission, all that sort of stuff, trying to get a job over the age of 50 is really challenging. The workforce is really challenging. But I had to adapt and I had to change. And, I grew as a result of it, and then went back into business, then created this one. So you never know what's around the corner. So it's not just you. Everyone's got to adapt to the times. And it's a good thing. It gets you out of your comfort zone. And once you get out of your comfort zone, just take a step, one little step at a time, to make the changes. And it's not so scary after all. Alrighty, mastering the skill of productive marketing. All right, let's talk about marketing for a moment. These are the basics of the basics. First of all, most accountants don't do any marketing, or they'll only contact you if there's a problem and you've rung up to whinge about something. That's my experience with the accountants that I've actually engaged with for my own work over time. They're not proactive. So what I'm suggesting to you is look at your client base and have a look, particularly your top 20% of clients. Stay in contact with them. Send them out a gift. Make a phone call. Have a chat to them on a regular basis. This is your top ones. And build a relationship with them. Ring them up. Find out how business is going and see what else you can do to help them, not wait for them to contact you when there's a problem. So, and give them gifts. Have that client relationship. Simple stuff. Send them out. It may well be you send out a birthday card. You know, all those little things. Yes, Christmas is coming up. Don't send a Christmas card with everybody's signature from the office in it, because chances are it'll get binned. But do little things. Stay in touch. Make a phone call. Make regular connection, particularly with those top clients. Also have some sort of e-zine, not a boring accountant's e-zine. I'm working with an accountant at the moment, and the stuff he sent me is like, ho-hum, sleep time. No, people aren't going to read it, you know. Get some feedback too from some of your clients when you put stuff out as well, because they'll soon let you know whether or not they're interested in it. So something of interest. They want testimonials, how you save someone's farm, or you know, how you save them $100,000 off their tax bill. Have a photo if you're going to send out a little newsletter, if it's an email one. Stay in contact regularly with your clients, but you do need to do a range of things. But don't sit there and do nothing. Most are reactive. Most people take your money and they run. And even have a little client appreciation seminar, just like my financial planner did, where you have a seminar, not just also about self-managed super funds, blah, blah, blah. Something interesting like I'm just thinking one of the topics I did with a financial planner, how to survive and thrive beyond 50. So I did my topic, and then she went and spoke about, you know, how, you know, the self-managed super and that, and the importance of all that. So think about how you can collaborate with others. It doesn't necessarily have to be your industry, because people like to see that, you know, you've got connections with other people, and for you to provide value-added service. So it depends on who you're servicing and who your target market is. But you don't have to do all these things I'm saying, but do one. Pick up the phone, make a phone call. You know, send out a gift, whatever it is. You need to do something on a consistent basis to stay in touch. Marketing's a skill, and don't copy what all other accountants do with their boring newsletters. You need to do something different, and this is where you might engage someone who understands the stuff to show you what you can do. You've got the gold sitting in your business. Make the most of it. So stay in touch with your clients, and they're bound to come back to you when they need further assistance or refer friends. But build a relationship.
Lorraine, one of the marketing areas that I think is available for accountants at present is this new legislation for early stage innovation companies. It only started in July, and it's a great opportunity to find out what people are doing. A lot of these new companies are probably not your clients at present because they've been busy inventing things. And we suggest you run a seminar to try to attract people in and find out what they're doing. And this could lead to some very exciting relationships, because there's a lot of work got to get done to get someone ready so they can raise capital from investors. And the key to that is going to be marketing. In letting them know that you're interested in working for them.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and it's a good thing to do, you know, and you're helping people, and they can see you're switched on and doing things. So that sounds like a good idea. Certainly is. So
and no one's an expert in that at this stage, because it only started on the 1st of July. So this is an opportunity to also create a new income stream, a new bit of expertise to help in the practice.
Yeah, absolutely. Outside expertise is really important. I'm going to say something here, and some of you might get your back up a bit, but it's really important that a lot of people, I find accountants try and be the guru of everything. You know, they try and be the business advisor, and that can mean a lot of things, business advisor, you know, the financial person, the this, the that, and the other. You're the trusted advisor. You're the gateway to the small business community. I find many accountants need to stretch their thinking and get help. A lot of these people, particularly in small business, they are hurting. They need help outside of the financial services area, like they're transitioning to retirement, they're trying to sell the business. There are so many factors associated with that these people need help with, and it's you, the accountant, who could become even much more trusted advisor if you got out a bit more and network with other people in the business community, because there's a whole range of services and goods that can help your clients, and it really make you look even much better to them, because they trust you and you're their advisor, and they're going to have much more success, because being a business is tough, you know, it's not easy. And yeah, so I won't go any more into that tangent, but there are a lot of people that are suffering. They don't know what to do, and they don't know that there are people like myself and other professionals out there that can actually help them build their business and make life so much better for them. So yeah, so have a think about that. Alrighty, so moving right along now, a little bit about the marketing. It's always the basic stuff people don't do. They often run off with all these bright, shiny objects on these fancy programs and all that. Just start looking at the clients you've already got and do something with them first, because like attracts like, and if you've got good clients there, chances are they've got friends and family and associates that could also become good clients for you if you do the right thing by them. Okay, so systems in place. Now, one of the biggest things with having systems in place, payment. Now, I find accountants are notorious for their bills. So they don't have a direct, usually the ones that I've dealt with, don't have a direct debit system. They're not proactive. They send their bills out occasionally when they think about it. In fact, one of my clients, he wouldn't do his billing regularly. He wasn't disciplined. And so it would just become a bottleneck, and he found that his cash flow would start to dry up, and we brought it back to when we got him to do a timesheet. He just wasn't disciplined enough to fill, you know, to do the invoicing consistently throughout the week. And as a result of that, he'd have so many invoices that needed to be done, he didn't want to do it because he just didn't particularly like getting them out there. But what he should have done is have a system set up, a direct debit system, so that payment is made on a consistent basis. So you guys are in the finance industry, and this is, to me, is business 101. You need to get paid for what, you know, for your services. You guys should have it all set up yourself. So have a look at things like Easy Debit, these direct debiting systems, and set up your business so you do get your payment on a consistent basis. Because there's no need for, you know, sending a letter out, you know, a reminder, a statement every few weeks. It's just a waste of time, energy, and resources. So it's time to get up to the 21st century. So, of course, there's no one on this call that's doing that, is there? Constantly having to chase up people that are owing them money, or maybe not even chasing them up, so that the amount owing just builds up so much over time. It gets to a point that somebody has to make a phone call because that bill's been outstanding for a long period of time. So have a regular system, a regular time of the week when the invoices are done, and make sure all your team are adhering to that. So it's like a schedule. This is how we do things around here. If it's not happening now, you're the boss, you're the leader, you've got to make sure, because why are you in business? You're in business for a range of reasons. Of course, you want to make money, but that's not necessarily the main reason. The other side of it is, you know, you obviously get a lot of enjoyment out of what you're doing. And you've got a purpose in life. So if you haven't got enjoyment and you haven't got a purpose around that and don't want to get out of bed in the morning, you really do need to look at why you're there, because you don't want to spend the rest of your life doing something you don't particularly like doing. So maybe you need to reignite your mojo. Okay. Now the next thing I wanted to talk about was focusing on creating wealth. It's funny, you know, working with finance professionals, often their books are a mess. They don't know where they are financially, and they haven't taken care of their business. So allocate some time, review where you're at. How are you going with your own finances? Look at your credit cards. Do they need to be consolidated? Do you need a financial planner? You know, I work with accountants, and we get to a point, depending on what we're working on, that I'm, sometimes suggesting to them, well, how about, if you're not going to make this happen, who do you need to see? If you can't help yourself right now, that's okay. But who do you need to go to make you accountable and to cast an eye over your finances so that you're on and get you back on track? And there's nothing wrong with that. We all need help. So allocate some time. Maybe it's the weekend, maybe it's at night. You decide, but you have to allocate the time. And that's why scheduling is very important. You need to schedule your life as well as your work. So otherwise, things just won't get done. You'll just turn up at work, do what needs to be done, and then you get home and you waste all that time when you really need to start focusing too on the wealth side of your own life. Okay, so moving right along, you're the priority. This really should be number one. Without you taking care of yourself, you don't have business. If you go down, and many people do because they haven't taken care of themselves, and plus anything can happen around the corner, you won't be doing any work. There will be no business. I had a client, in accountancy practice, he just would not listen, and it was overweight, and he just didn't take care of himself, and he's always busy, the usual stuff. Tried to work with him, but he just took so long to finally get it, and then one day he felt a tingling in his finger, and luckily there was someone home. He was divorced. I wonder why, because he never spent any time at home. And luckily there was someone in the house, but apparently that particular day he suffered a stroke. Fortunately, over time he came good, and then, of course, after a big episode like that, he started to turn his life around, and then didn't take it for granted anymore about his health. So you need to be proactive about your health. The older you get, the more you need to take care of yourself. We are in a very, very sick society. Young people look sick. And never mind the old people, the young people look sick, overweight, eating crap, and not getting enough sleep, all that sort of stuff. And I'm nearly 60 now, and as I say that, it's like, oh my God, but I don't feel 60, and I do take care of myself. But I've probably got the energy of a 25-year-old, but many people my own age look terrible. I mean, it's like they've already checked out, they're ready for that coffin, so, which is really sad. So don't let that be you. Take care of your health, because don't say my clients. You're not a doctor, and you don't need to be on call 24/7. You're not going to save anyone's life in that regard, but you need to save your own life and put yourself first, because you are the priority. You're the role model. You're the role model for your kids. You're the role model in your workplace. You're the role model in your life. Don't outsource that to anybody else. You are the leader. So what that means is taking yourself seriously. Yes, you probably will need to see a health professional, because chances are, unless you've been in the industry and you've trained for this, you don't know what exercise you really need. Otherwise you could end up hurting yourself. You'll need to see someone who knows about nutrition, because the food is very, very important. It gives you energy. It can create disease or not. You need to get regular sleep. They say about 7 hours, 8 hours sleep, and you got to drink plenty of water. There's no extra science around that. It's not secretive. It's just common sense stuff. And if you're doing it already now, fantastic. You should be feeling really, really good. And if not, you'll be feeling like crap. So you can change that. You want to run a business, you want to be productive, and you want to make money. Well, you've got to take care of yourself. You need to be number one. So I'm just going to give you a quick story here about Gary. Gary, 55-year-old accountant, he's been in business 20 years, feeling lonely. Now, I'm sure a lot of you that are in practice on your own, you feel lonely because there's really no one to talk to about, exactly how you're feeling in your business, but also about life in general. And I find that's very common. And even people in partnerships, in business partnerships, even that's a minefield on its own. There's always big issues with partnerships. But being lonely, no one to really share how you feel, particularly the guys. They don't like to let on that there's anything wrong, everything's fine. And so Gary's, as I said, he's 55, business 20 years, feeling lonely, married for 30 years. That's quite a common thing from back in the day, being married for a long period of time, 3 kids, all grown up, but feeling directionless, feeling like time's ticking past and he's just stuck there and doesn't know what to do with himself. Business was okay, but he was feeling unhappy, lack of energy, motivation, overeating a lot because he was bored and just had no fun, enjoyment in his life, and he felt each day was like Groundhog Day. So what happened was we basically got him back on track. It takes time. Your life doesn't change overnight. Well, not in this instance to improve it. It can change overnight. If you've got in an accident or something like that should happen to you. But if you want to make changes and move forward, it takes time. But he was feeling like he was in a dark tunnel and could see no way out. So what he says here, there were times when he really needed someone to give him a kick up the backside to get him moving. And he's so much clearer now. He's re-energized and he's motivated, to change his life. So he's finally sold his practice and he's gone on a well-deserved holiday and bought a new car, a brand new Mercedes-Benz, and he's feeling like life is worth living again. So it's about making changes, and if you're happy where you're at with your business and life in general, fantastic. Keep going, keep doing the same thing. But if you're not, then it's time for a change. So here's my final word to you. What will happen if you don't become more productive and profitable? So what will happen if you don't become more productive and profitable? That means what will happen if you don't change your situation? It could mean so many things, couldn't it? And what won't happen if you become more productive and profitable? Will you not be able to retire? Will you not be able to go overseas and see your kids? Will you be on, are you heading for a heart attack? Because being productive is important too, time management around the health and fitness area as well. There's a little bit involved, but not a lot. It's about having routine and consistency. And you've always got the time. Everyone's got the time. It's what you do with it. So if you're serious and you want to change your life today, you need to take action. And if you need a bit of help with that, you can give us a call if you wish, 0411 145 166. You can get to my website, relaunchyourlife.com.au, or send me an email, Lorraine, LORRAINE, @relaunchyourlife.com.au. That's if you want to reignite your spark and get back on track again. So I hope you've had at least 1 or 2 really good takeaways today that you've written down, and you're going to commit to make changes, because as I said before, knowledge is no power in knowledge. You become an educated derelict if you don't apply the knowledge. So you want to take action and consistently take that action to get the results that you're looking for. So on that note, Peter, do we have any more questions, or I'll just hand it back to you?
I was just about to ask that. Has anyone else got any more questions? I like that final comment. We don't want to be educated derelicts. That's a good note to finish. No one's got any more questions? Well, if you think of any questions later on, you can send them to us and we will forward them on to Lorraine, and I'm sure Lorraine will get back in contact with you. So thank you very much, Lorraine. I'm just going to switch the presenter back to me, and So all I want to do with you now is leave you with a message from ESS Biztools. We're happy to have presented this webinar today in conjunction with Lorraine. I have mentioned early stage innovation companies a couple of times. I think there's great opportunities there, and full products are within our main products, ESS Biztools and ESS BizGrants and ESS Bassett. Within ESS Bassett, we have individual products, but if you wish to subscribe to all of our services, you can do so with ESS Biztools. And if you're looking for a real challenge to make your clients happy, why not use ESS BizGrants to identify some of the $5 billion that is spent by the Australian state and territory governments every year on grants, incentives, and special loans, primarily to SMEs. So we supply tools to assist accountants and to value add to help you add value to SMEs. And I think there is a couple of small businesses watching today. We supply articles and webinar information to help you in your businesses. So we'd like to hear from you. If you require any further information, please send us an email, peter@essbiztools.com.au. I'm just going to check once again to see if there's any questions. There's no questions. We will send you in the next couple of days a link to the recording of this webinar, and Lorraine will organise for us to send to you a couple of those handouts that she referred to during the webinar. So Lorraine, thank you very much for your participation today.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.
Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful day. And if you're going to ATSA in Melbourne next week, the Australian Technology Showcase for Accountants, I'll be there, and I would love to have a talk to you about the services that ESS Biztools can deliver to you to help you to deliver new income streams for your accountancy businesses. Have a great day. Goodbye.